Thank you, Kevin. Up next is an exclusive interview with Mr. Eagle to talk about the Urban Woods and Prairies initiative and how it influences migration.
Right, so this is the spot where I like to hang out over the winter. A lot of people think that birds migrate south in the winter. Not so. As long as we got a little bit of open water, as an eagle, I'm pretty happy just hanging out here. As a matter of fact, if you go just a couple miles up the river, for the other Urban Woods and Prairies site, one of several, Lemke Park, open water, easy access to fish year-round.
Well, that's good to know, Mr. Eagle. So what about the other birds in the area?
Well, I usually don't like to associate with the smaller species because, I'm an eagle and I got to be proud and maintain this whole image and whatnot. But I do see a lot of things with my eagle eyes, and I can tell you that a lot of the species that sometimes migrate south often will hang out here too, just because there's so much nature around at the Urban Woods and Prairie sites. Things like goldfinches, you name it, and they'll still hang around.
Well, that's really interesting. What about your other bird friends?
Well, I don't like to associate with the smaller species much. I got a majestic presence that I need to maintain here, being an eagle and whatnot. But I do observe some things with my eagle eyes, that sharp vision of mine, and I can tell you that because of the abundant green spaces here, or I guess in this case brown spaces during winter, a lot of the smaller species will hang around. Things like robins, if they can still find food, Canada geese. I really don't like to talk about them, but they're all right in their own way and they can stick around. Some other things though that we do have around here will move south. So things like bobolinks. I never trust a bird that doesn't like a tree, but the prairie chickens tell me they go all the way to Argentina for the winter, and I gotta really admire that level of commitment and determination.
Wow, yeah, that's quite the commitment. But you keep mentioning these urban woods and prairies. Can you tell me more about those?
Sure, yeah. So it's an initiative started back in 2014, and what it is about 24 sites of over 800 acres in the Fargo-Moorhead area of green spaces that are being converted back into native forest and prairie, and most importantly accessible for the public to use, and also great for providing habitat for all sorts of critters like myself. Right here we're in Forest River, which is a good mix of prairie and forest, right along the river, which I happen to love. You go a little bit further north, you got quite a few more sites, things like the beautiful little rapids outside of Lemke Rapids, in Fargo-Moorhead terms. Up north, you got the beautiful black-eyed Susans blooming in Oakport and North Moorhead, and just spread throughout. And this year it's been such a big hit that even if I'm flying around in places like Grand Forks, Minot, Bismarck, I can find urban woods and prairie sites there too. And I love it, and so do all my bird friends.
Well, real quick, I've heard you're a big fan of Audubon, Dakota, and that they're also participating in Giving Hearts Day. Can you tell me a little bit about what makes this important to you in Audubon, Dakota?
Absolutely, yeah. So those Audubon guys up in the Black Building, Giving Hearts Day is really the main effort of getting more engagement and outreach funding to help support, getting out there and helping to educate kids about the importance of birds and bird conservation across the Dakotas and western Minnesota. And it's just a really important time to help get some funds together for those projects. Last year they raised enough money to do outreach for well over 800 kids across a pretty wide region. And this year I've heard that the goals are just as lofty, if not even more so than before. And it's important to get out there and help kids get outside and get out into nature.
That's very important, and you can bet that you can count me for Giving Hearts Day.
That's absolutely true. And another thing that they're doing is they kind of wrangled me into this t-shirt here, but it's an Urban Stewardship Program t-shirt. Oh, thank you. I ate a whole lot of carp before I came here, and things aren't fitting as well as they should. But it's a really great way for people to get out, help out with some land management, help out with some outreach. If you're interested in talking to school kids about why you love wildlife, why you love the prairies or the river, then it's definitely the thing for you.
Well, I really thank you for your time today, Bud, and I know you've got to get flying off, so just want to say thank you again for your time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. This Urban Woods and Prairies thing is awesome, and us wildlife absolutely love it. So if you excuse me, I got my eye on a dead deer hanging out over in the Cheyenne River in Kindred, and I'm going to go fatten up some more.
Well, there you have it, an exclusive interview with Bud Eagle. We wish him a safe flight and a healthy winter and a great migration as he starts to welcome his friends back into the neighborhood, and get on out to Forest River and the other Urban Woods and Prairies site. And don't forget to count yourself for Giving Hearts Day.
The Eagles. a great American band, and a great American bird. Thanks a lot, Bud. And that concludes tonight's newscast. Thanks for watching Central Flyway News. Remember to donate to Audubon, Dakota on this Giving Hearts Day. This broadcast has been brought to you in part by our Giving Hearts Day match donors, including Sandy Holbrook, Ron and Sue Miller, Red River Commodities, Odin Helgerson, and Mike Bush. Thank you for watching. Stay classy, North Dakota.